Hello, Mike here. Already hit my microphone. That's fantastic. So I am here doing a review on Justice League. I haven't made a movie review in a while, so um, I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to talk about it, compare the two, and yeah. So the night Zack Snyder's Justice League released, me and my girlfriend stayed up for 4 hours and watched it all the way through. Couple little pauses here and there to go to the bathroom, like three or four times, honestly. But yeah, so Justice League, I dug it. I thought it was pretty great. Um, yeah, it's a fun movie, man. Like, it's before I watched this one, I watched Man of Steel and I watched Batman v Superman. And what I wanted to do is go back and watch all three Snyder movies in a row because they all kind of play out in a row. And uh, so I watched the first two and prepared myself for the new Snyder cut. Man of Steel, still, still one of my favorite superhero movies. I know a lot of people like to criticize. I think there's just a lot of people that don't like Zack Snyder's direction with his DC movies, but I I tend to enjoy those darker DC movies. Even the animated films, like the Justice League Dark films, are what I enjoy. So those darker takes are what I like. And for Man of Steel, I thought it was a great movie, and the ending of that starts us off Batman v Superman, and I hadn't seen the Ultimate Edition until a few days ago, and the first time I saw Batman v Super, I keep wanting to say Batman and Robin, Batman v Superman, I thought that movie was uh, hit and miss. I didn't really um, care for it too much, especially how rushed it felt towards the end. I enjoyed most of the movie up until really Doomsday. Um, and then I was like, oh wow, they're already going to Doomsday, and it felt a little rushed. But the 3 hour cut of the movie kind of helped a little bit, um, and I enjoyed that. A lot of cool shots, a lot of um, he's Snyder's an artist, and his movies are very visually stunning, and I enjoy them. Um, Pretty much almost every movie he makes. So that one um, ends with the death of Superman, and this movie that's why I always thought that when the Justice League came out a couple years ago, when it just kind of like started off uh, on its own, it was a little weird, considering he went from Man of Steel and then kind of like blended those together into Batman v Superman. And when I watched the Snyder Cut, he did the same thing. So the Snyder Cut starts off with the death of Superman and kind of shows that his death triggers these mother boxes to activate, and then it starts off the movie. And I thought that that was a better way of starting the movie. I didn't enjoy the the cell phone footage of Superman, especially with the weird lip, um, the mustache removal. That was goofy. Um, and I think first off, I want to start off with the way this movie was presented in like the square format, 4:3, I think is what it was, and I like that. I I like that's not a problem for me. I enjoy movies like presented either anyway. Like Lighthouse was in that like square format, and I enjoyed that. And Batman, um, or Justice League Snyder cut, um, was fine that way. And uh, and that criticism doesn't make sense to me, but to each their own. But in my opinion, I thought it was fine. There was more to see, and that's great. Um, so yeah, I think I'll start off with the way the characters were presented. First of all, Batman. Um, Great. I like Ben Affleck Batman. I think him in this movie was a little less detective-y though. A little more, uh, a little more, I guess, dark, especially in that last ending scene with the Joker. That was a little goofy, and he drops the f bomb, and it's just that part was goofy. But Batman, I think, was pretty much the same kind of compared to the Joss Whedon version. I'll just refer to it as that. Superman, a lot less Superman, I think, in this one, and I think that's fine. I actually, um, I felt like them getting to that conclusion where they need to bring him back to life took a lot longer to get to in the film, obviously because it's 4 hours long. But um, they didn't get to resurrecting him till I think part 4 or 5. So yeah, I him in that with the dark suit was great. Um, they cut out a couple scenes with like him fighting Batman, and I thought that was great because he looked weird with that mustache removal thing, and yeah, and also going back to Batman, they made him less jokey, like he was in Joss Whedon's version. Um, with those two and Wonder Woman, um, all kind of were the same. They're all great. Wonder Woman, fantastic. Um, Slicing shit in half. That rated R version, our rated R uh, rating was great because you get to see Wonder Woman just hacking and slashing and yeah, actually using her sword to cut things in half and seeing it and blood flying everywhere, and that's great. uh, then we got um, the last. Well, then we got Aquaman, and he pretty much the same kind of stuff in this movie. Nothing too new. Um, he's great. Uh, yep. And then Flash, what we get more of is Flash and Cyborg. So I'll start off with Flash. We get a new introduction to him saving Iris and from a car accident, and that scene was a little goofy, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, a little weird, goofy, and set the tone of who the Flash was. Just that goofy guy, um, saying the wrong thing all the time, and just being the comedic relief, which was great to see uh, in a Snyder movie because not a lot of that in Man of Steel or Batman v Superman. And then we have Cyborg, who I was surprised how much more Cyborg was in this movie. Um, they cut out so much in the original version, and I'm surprised how much they cut out. He was like basically the key to this movie. Like his story arc was amazing, and I have no clue why they cut all of it out of the original version. But uh, Cyborg is great. I'm glad that we got to see um, that version of Cyborg, and I think it was fantastic. So yeah, he's overall the most improved character from the original to the Snyder cut was probably Cyborg, hands down. It was amazing. Um, Now the length I think worked. There was a lot of slow mo, a lot of like, artistic slow mo shots that were just a little too long, but that was fine. I'm okay with long movies. I don't think this one was when you see like a long movie but you're just bored, like then it you could tell it's long. This one I was engaged the whole movie, so it didn't really matter. I thought the length was fine, and I'm glad they released it this way and not in like a separate parts, um, like uh, TV show style series with just a few episodes. Um, I think watching it all in one sitting is fine. Uh, but those little cutting it up into parts is a good idea too. Just in case you want to go away, go to sleep, take a nap, then come back and watch the rest. So, the story, they pretty much have the same story minus the backstory of Darkseid and Steppenwolf. Um, Basically Steppenwolf owing Darkseid, uh, you know, a debt because he messed up, and so Darkseid's like, you need to go take over these planets for me, and so the story of Steppenwolf kind of trying to redeem himself in Darkseid's eyes was good. It gave some kind of character to him rather than just being, I'm mad and I need boxes. But he wasn't like the Whedon version. And he looked far superior in this one compared to the other movie. I don't know why he looked so bad in the original version. It's like, just get a guy in a suit if you're gonna make him look kind of like a normal guy. Uh it was weird. But this new Steppenwolf was great. His suit of armor was cool. It was always like flicking and moving and transforming while he was just standing. It was flickering and doing these cool little things. And that was cool. Darkseid, he looked all awesome. Uh he looked probably not as visually great, but he looked cool. It looked like Darkseid, and yeah, he kicked ass. No, he did get his ass kicked in like the first flashback scene, which they did change. They changed it from Steppenwolf in the flashback scene to Darkseid in the flashback scene, and uh, that was fine. I think the flashback almost seemed uh a little more like Darkseid just got demolished compared to like before with Steppenwolf. He kind of was fighting back, and then they just kind of took him away, and they were like, no, we gotta leave, and left the boxes and then took off. Where in this one, Darkseid gets his ass beat, and then they drag him onto the ship, and they're like, we gotta go. um I think that was, I actually kind of think I like that. I think just getting his ass whipped, and it motivated him to like go back and take over Earth. And yeah, so I don't want to make this too long. I kind of wanted to make this a short video, and I'm already at like 14 minutes. So I'm gonna just overall say it's a great improvement from the original. Um, Watch this one for sure. I'm not too sure. I thought there was going to be a black and white version of it, but I can't seem to find it. I'll have to look up maybe if it's like on a different platform, like maybe you have to buy it. Um, but I'm excited to see that, and maybe I'll make an update video when I do see that. And overall, great movie. It's so awesome seeing his version of this movie, the way he wanted it, without the constraints of keeping it under 2 hours, or you know keeping it PG-13. He just got to do whatever he wanted and put his movie out. You know, it's great to see stuff like that, and I hope studios let filmmakers, give them a little more leeway, because there's a lot of filmmakers out there that love these characters and love these stories and want to do these movies justice, but then these studios get in the way, and these movies need to be a certain way, and we see problems like that um with like Ant-Man, with them, not letting Edgar Wright do it, the movie he wanted to originally do. So he left the project. And David Ayer with Suicide Squad, it seemed a little weird, and they cut out a bunch of Joker stuff and a lot of other things. I feel like it makes sense with movie theaters, but now that we're in this whole streaming age, I feel like letting these movies run 3 4 hours is fine. If they start getting like freaking 8 hours, that's a little crazy. But you know, not restricting them to a certain time limit is a good idea, and I hope more studios do that. Um, yeah, and so I do want to. I don't really want to rate this movie. I will just suggest it, and I'll say watch it. I'll say um it's worth the subscription to HBO Max, or um I'd say get it through there. That way you can watch some other stuff while you're on there. Uh and I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any sort of um you know updates on maybe a Justice League 2, or maybe they'll start that Batman movie again. Um and I kind of wish for that, because I know Zack Snyder said he'd be fine with not, you know, ever coming back and doing DC movies, but I kind of want to see where he was going to take these characters and where he was going to, you know, go with this story, because we didn't even get to see a dark side battle. I kind of thought there was going to be something towards the end where dark side came, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that and rush it. I for some reason thought they would, uh but I was wrong. So um they killed off Steppenwolf just like the original movie, and ended the movie um with, Batman helping Martha out with her house just like the original. And then they went into this weird sequence, nightmare sequence, which was all right. I thought the dialogue was a little goofy, cheesy, but um he referenced, our Joker referenced, giving Batman a reach around, and Batman got pissed and was like, "Don't don't think I'm gonna not gonna fucking kill you," or some shit like that. It was goofy, but it was all right. And the last scene with Martian Manhunter and Batman was great. I thought that was awesome, and it made me want to see more Batman. Um, like Ben Affleck's Batman, and it's a bummer to know that his Batman movie that he was going to direct is not going to be a thing anymore. But I hope maybe they, with the success of this movie, all I've heard is everyone everyone loving this movie. There's a few people out there that just, I think they're just not Zack Snyder fans, um, and that's understandable. But uh, I think this is a vast improvement from the original, and I hope to see more. But yeah, and I think I'll probably end this video before I keep rambling. But definitely watch it, Justice League: The Snyder Cut on HBO Max. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in another video. I'm gonna record a podcast right now, and that'll be up later. But for now, bye bye.